I've had a few weeks where because of icy conditions and stuff like that, I wasn't doing as much physically as I normally did. So the other day I had a bit of extra time. I'm like, oh, maybe I'll do some Pilates and like an inner thigh workout. Wow, that was that felt really fun at the time. I was doing this exercise where you like bend one leg, like your supporting leg, and then your other leg, the foot, like your toe, whatever, I guess, is on a dish towel, like on a bare floor. And then you're pushing out to the side and pulling back. Well, I just thought that was the most fun. And so I did a lot of that, had a great time. And then, oh, the next day when I woke up, yeah. Anyway, so I'm still a little slow going and wow, talk about feelings of humility. I was like, wow, that was a lot. Anyway, so if you notice me kind of not moving as smoothly as maybe normal, that is certainly why. So great exercise. I need to learn moderation. Typical. So good morning and thank you so much for being here. I know the clocks changed, everything, like we needed that on top of everything else, right? Um, so today's practice, I think a lot of people are feeling just so overwhelmed because of what's happening in the world. And it's a nice opportunity to practice living with those feelings and finding ways to turn those feelings into something that is not debilitating. Uh, we've done this before. You know, we're almost at that 5 year anniversary of when we started doing our virtual practice because the world was, you know, at the beginning stages of a pandemic. So we navigated that before. I'm confident we will continue to kind of come together as a community and find our way forward. And with all of that in mind, we are going to focus today on heart center and that notion of warriorship. Because when we're feeling helpless and sometimes hopeless, remembering that just the basic principles of warriorship that you lead with your heart. That's where our strength comes from. And that if the heart is looked after and the heart is, you know, the first thing to enter, the first thing to make that impression, no matter what we're dealing with, we have a better opportunity to move through it. So that's the focus today, and we'll do physical postures to recognize that. So as we're settling into the practice, I want to share, I was going through different kind of writings of Thich Nhat Hanh, and because that's always a huge source of inspiration to me. So this is something that I pulled today, and I thought it was really kind of, it was a good reminder for myself even. So he says, the truth is the truth, whether or not it is accepted by the majority. And it takes great courage to stand up and protect what is right. And again, this is this notion of, I think a lot of us are feeling right now, like, how could we be in our current situation? How is this possible? With everything we know, with everything we feel, how is this possible? So, doesn't matter what the majority feels, potentially across the border, we need to stand up and really protect what is right. And what's right is what's coming from the heart. That's our truth. So today's practice is about that. Bring the shoulders back and down, immediately lifting up through the heart center. Feel like you can kind of open these shutters and start to let your heart center glow, right? Think about ET Think about that beautiful glowing. Relax through the arms, relax through your face, soften the eyes. And as you soften the eyes, understand we can see with the heart. So deepen your breath and take a moment to see with your heart. See what is good. See what is possible. See with compassion. And then allow yourself that compassion and understanding, because it's been a confusing, tough time with lots of different feelings. And anger doesn't feel good, and fear doesn't feel good. So let's continue to commit to moving that into compassion, compassion for others, compassion for ourselves, and compassion for the truth. And then deepen the breath even more. Let that energy of compassion flow for our weary bodies, our confused minds. And allow compassion if you're also feeling those pieces of resentment that float around going, really? Do we have to do this again? And then let's open the eyes, sweep the arms up, bring your hands up over top of your head. So stretching up, fingers are wide apart, maybe opening up so the palms are facing up, leaning back. And think about it, right? Think about absorbing what we can, like rays of sunshine into our palms. I don't know if y'all have nice weather today. I'm in kind of a gray sky day, but I know above the clouds, it is clear and bright and blue. And I have to remember that even though I can't see that beauty, I can still absorb it. I can still welcome it. I can still feel it. And then gently bringing the arms down. Good. Let's come to the hands and knees, and then we're going to sink back into a child's pose. And we're going to start to kind of move the energy through, kind of going back to some old favorites for how we wake up our energy centers and get ready for what's to come. So sinking back into your child's pose, if you need a block or a cushion to rest your head, that's okay. Boy, do I. comfortable as this posture is. I'm mindful of the fact that we all might be tired, so we maybe shouldn't stay in this posture for too long, or we'll be all snoozing. So stretch your arms a little bit further, stretch out your fingers, and connect the palms to the mat. Then when you're ready, slowly tightening up through the core, we're going to pull our hands back, lifting up here, roll your shoulders, pull that energy into heart center. So we're kind of grabbing from around us and bringing energy to fuel that center of compassion. Sweep into your third eye, wisdom, knowledge. So think about this in the context of where we are today. We have the wisdom, we have the knowledge, we can move through and overcome incredible obstacles. And then sweep up to the crown. So we're connecting with all the magic of the universe, bigger than some of the smaller crap. And then push the energy down, bring your hands forward, plant them, flip your toes. We're going to push up and back. Let your head hang. Let the stress release from the neck and shoulders. We're taking this a little bit slower. Recognize the tightness in the physical body. That's okay. Breathe deeply to bring comfort. And then gently moving to the hands and knees, back to a child's pose. Stretch the arms out. And we go again. So pulling up to heart center. Third eye. Crown. Sweeping it down, hands plant, up and back, down dog. While you're in down dog, maybe move around a bit, bending knee, maybe the other one, a little bit of a twist. And then back down to hands and knees, back to child's pose. Pulling up, roll the shoulders, lift the heart here, make it more dramatic. Pull energy in. Third eye. Crown. Hands to the floor. Downward dog. Add a bit more tension by pushing down through the heels. Explore the flexibility. Hands and knees back to child's pose. We'll keep going for a few more rounds. Moving back to our hero. Hands to the heart. Third eye. Crown. Down dog. Lowering down to the hands and knees, back to the child's pose, stretching those arms. Stretch your fingers wide apart. Press the fingertips into the mat. And then pull back and up. Roll the shoulders, hands to the heart. Third eye. Crown. Down dog. So this time, let's maybe bring your feet a little bit closer together. Let's bring one leg up in the air. Maybe bending the knee, opening a little bit of a twist here into a three-legged dog. Bring the leg down, switching to the other side. Bring the foot down, pushing back into the hips. Down to your hands and knees, uncurl your toes, walk it back. So we're in hero. Shoulders move to the back body. And then I'm going to invite you to lift up here. So kind of coming into a partial lightning bolt. Bring a hand behind the back so you're kind of resting that hand on the top of your butt. Other arm comes back. So when I'm bringing the arm around, I'm rolling through the shoulder. Nice range of motion. And we're going to push down here. This is kind of an early stage approach to the camel. So I'm pushing down, lifting up, leaning back. So hold and breathe here. Don't jam your mouth shut. Slowly bring the head back. Release the arms and shoulders, slowly softening down. Good. Take a couple of breaths. When we come into that for a second and third round, I want you to focus on kind of probably acknowledging the tension through your shoulders, but really working to pull them away as the head comes back. Enjoy that long stretch through the neck. Don't fight to keep the jaw clenched. Really let it, do the whole catch and flies, mouth breathe, enjoy it. All right, so we're going to lift up. One arm comes back, then the other. Extending, so I'm pulling up from the waist. Shoulder blades move together, leaning back. Slowly reversing this, starting to come down. Good. Take a couple of breaths. Now, if you want to try to come into a full camel, it might be too early for you. It's probably too early for me. But to come into camel, instead of hand to that butt, you're going to bring your hand down to the top of your heel. You could try one side, maybe both. We'll play around with it. Just explore it. Again, we're opening up through the chest, lifting the chest, plus a little bit of a back bend. It's a really intense posture. Please keep breathing. So let's lift up. Maybe we start here. Hands come behind. If you want to kind of see if you can get one hand down, maybe you lift another arm up. I'm just doing fingertips to begin. Coming back to that intermediate posture. And then maybe trying on the other side, finding my heel. And then very gently releasing. This time coming to hands and knees. Knees are hip width apart. Breathing in, head and tail lift. Exhale, rounding. So we're coming into some cat-cow here. Inhale. And exhale. Breathing in. And out. Inhale. And exhale. Breathing in. And out. Good stuff. Come to your flat back, drop down onto your forearms, bring the hands together. Flip your toes. We're going to do a little bit of work with dolphin. So when you're ready and feeling comfortable, you're just going to push the butt up into the air. Let your head hang. You're going to feel intensity in this posture as long as it's not pain. Breathe through it. Slowly lowering down. Uncurl your toes. Bring the hands apart. Move into your child's pose. Pull the hands back, rolling your shoulders. Hands to the heart. Third eye. Crown. Let that energy wash down over you and then bring your hands forward. Alrighty. From here, let's bring the left foot up. So my left foot is on the outside of the left hand. Soften through your elbows for a moment. And then you can slowly lift up, roll your shoulders back. Let's bring the energy now to the heart. So hands are to the heart. So we're a little bit wider here than we would be for a normal lunge. And I'm going to take a moment to stabilize my front leg and foot. So I'm going to bring my left foot out on a slight angle. I'm just going to tuck my hips under. So I'm kind of rolling under, lifting up. And I'm going to sweep my arms up, roll in through the shoulders, gently stretching and lengthening, coming towards the sky. You can stay here if it is comfortable. If you want, you can start to arch back, so kind of lifting up, leaning back. Remember to relax through the jaw. Bring the shoulders down, the hands down. Moving back to a tabletop. Dropping down to your forearms, hands together, flip the toes. Deep breath in. Exhale, dolphin once again. Dropping to the knees, uncurl the toes, easing into your child's pose here. Pull the hands back. Energy moves to heart center, compassion. Third eye, wisdom. To the crown, connection with universe. Releasing the hands down, back to your tabletop. This time, the right foot comes forward. Right foot is on the outside of the right hand. bring my foot out on a slight angle. Lifting up. Maybe starting just hands to the heart. Bring your shoulder blades together. Again, you can stay here, a little tuck under of the hips. You can bring your arms up. Lengthening, creating space, maybe starting to lean back. And then releasing, bring the hands down. Bring your leg back. From here, just flip your toes. Hop into a plank. Few breaths. Drop to the knees, uncurl your toes, gently lowering. Partway through my not gentle lower, I was like, oh my God, I need another coffee. Hang in there, folks. So I'm going to bring my hands out from the armpits, elbows are up. And we're going to go through some cobra here. Again, think about that connection with the heart. We are pulling energy from the ground, from Mother Earth. Let's inhale, lifting up. And then slowly down. If baby cobra is more comfortable, that's a great spot to start. Let's lift up for 2. Slowly down. Try 3. And down. 4. Or let's lift to 5. And down. From here, push up and back. We're going to come into playful puppy. Your head comes down, your arms are stretched, butts in the air. Deep breaths. Flip your toes, bring the hands back. And let's move to a down dog. And then walk the hands back to the feet. Drop your head here, just hang out, shake the head. Slowly rolling up bit by bit by bit. And a nice big roll through the shoulders. Good. Good, good, good. All right. My shoulders, my shoulders are creaking today, my word. All right. Perfect. So let's come into mountain pose for a moment, because mountain is such a great way to pause and reflect and to notice how we're feeling while really understanding that we are strong and capable. So my toes are going to be spread, arches are lifted, lengthening through the legs. Tuck the tail under, shoulders come back and down. This is where I like to close my eyes, breathing into the posture, getting taller with every breath. Rotate the palms so they're facing forward. And when you do that, allow yourself to bring the shoulder blades together, lifting up through heart center. Find your breath. Good. Let's open the eyes, bringing the hands to the heart. So I love mountain pose for how it kind of allows you to go within. And again, that image of a mountain, right? Strong, just solid and permanent, and something, all mountains have come from this massive kind of burst of energy, these huge kind of, I don't know what the geological term is for that thing that they do, but often, especially over the past couple of weeks for me, doing some hikes down on the shore. I live in Nova Scotia on the Bay of Fundy, but I live in an area called North Mountain, and the North Mountain was formed many years ago when volcanoes erupted and lava flowed. So the rock around where I am in Ontario, a lot of you I know are kind of on granite, and I'm on basalt, and basalt comes from lava. And so walking recently, I've been, touching the rock and going, you've seen this before. You've seen this cycle, you've seen this chaos, you've seen this confusion. And yet the rock is still there, facing its daily kind of pounding from the Bay of Fundy. And so that gives me a little bit of satisfaction and just a little bit of comfort knowing that we can just get through this. Let's move back. I'm moving back. The kind of bottom of your mat, if you would like. I'm stepping over my mat. The bottom of the mat-ish. We're going to be moving forward. I'm going to bring my left foot out on an angle, and you know what? I'm going to step it out a tiny bit because we're going to come into some warrior work now. So when we have our feet really close together in warrior, it's actually harder to right and level your pelvis. So just step it out a tiny bit, and then we step on the angle for a little bit of stability through the knee. The other leg is going to step forward and start with 2 straight legs. So this is our pyramid. Shoulders roll down. Deepen your breath here. You can kind of soften through the face and eyes and just check in with yourself. Can you get that back hip moving forward, the front hip moving back? Shoulders are relaxing down. And then even in this position, lift up through the heart. So that little bit of lengthening, shoulder blades move together. Good. Now we're going to start to ease into that front leg. So bending so it becomes more of a lunge. Get experiencing the sensations, the changes that happen when we do that. And just keep your arms gently at your sides for a moment, lifting up through the heart, just breathing here. And now we're going to formalize the posture. So I'm going to sweep my arms up, rolling the shoulders in, tightening. A little bit more attention to hold this posture. Every layer we add requires more of a commitment. Breathing deeply. We are now leading with the heart, channeling energy up through the ground. So let's add some motion to this. As you straighten that front leg, bring your arms back, kind of cactus arms, and pulling back a little bit here, arching the back, looking up. Good. So let's add a breath. Let's inhale back into warrior. Exhale, opening with that straight leg. Inhale, sinking in. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Straight leg. Good. Soften through the arms, roll your shoulders back into that bent front leg. We're going to come into a humble warrior. Really push some energy down into that back foot and ankle. Arms become really strong, stretching, nice release here. And then hinge forward to about 45 degrees. We're going to hold this for 5 deep breaths. Good, and then sweeping the arms up, inhale. Exhale, open up the arms, straighten that front leg. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, open. Once more, inhale, warrior one. Go deeper. And sweep the arms down, grab that energy, pull it to the heart, stepping forward. Come back into mountain. Ground through your feet, stay tall. Softening through the face, closing your eyes. Check in with yourself. Good. Roll the shoulders, opening the eyes. We're going to move to the other side now. So I'm going to bring my right foot now out on a slight angle. Left foot's going to step forward. Nice wide stance. Make sure your shoulders are not locking up. And when you're ready, starting to come into your lunge. Let's sweep the arms up here. Holding in your warrior one for a few breaths. So think about where the energy and pressure is. So if you're kind of leaning forward already, make sure you're grounded through that back leg. It's that wonderful sense of, balance and stability that comes with this notion of warriorship. We should be fairly unmovable here. Heart is forward because that's how we're entering the space and entering the experience. But that back leg is grounding us. It's holding us down to the earth. Think about it kind of holding you down to your core values. That's your anchor. So the movements and the rest of the body, but that's your connection to the things that matter, the things that are true. Deeply breathing here. Let's inhale, straightening that front leg as we open up. Exhale, warrior one. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Make sure you are still anchored through that back leg. Mine is starting to talk back. I'm going to bring my arms down, leaning into a humble warrior. Find your stability. Hold the pose, tighten through the core. So we're engaging that solar plexus chakra here. Let's do a few more breaths. And then sweeping back into our warrior one. Inhale. Exhale, open. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Elbows up. Am I right? Hands to the heart, stepping forward. Excellent work. Take a wide stance. Inhale. Leaning into one side. All the way up. And to the other side. Inhale. And releasing down. Hey, Jeff. Let's sweep up here again. And throw in a nice forward fold. Fingertips to the floor. Maybe about 3 breaths. And then sweeping up. Rolling your shoulders down. Amazing work. Let's bring the feet together. Ooh, I got that feeling of kind of jello in the legs, which is probably, as I was saying, that dang that I did with my dish towel, which, by the way, is a great exercise to do. Oh, but be careful because it's too fun. And then you pay the price, as I am now. Okay. I want to start to, we will come down and do a little bit of work on the bridge. But again, one of the pieces that we really require as we face challenging situations, again, we're kind of tapping into warriorship and leading with the heart. But I want for us to remember that it's not just about the heart, it's also about the breath. So we're going to go back to this great sequence that I've been doing for, I don't know, 20 some years now, it seems. And it's all about embracing feeling a little bit off balance and breathing your way into the stability. We cannot act effectively if we feel off kilter. So how do we get to that centered place? It's really with the breath. Let's come forward. I feel today I'm like doing some more meaningful things here, which I think I needed today. So thank you. Thank you for being part of that. Like, yeah. Let's come to the top of the mat. Oh, hands to the heart. Nice and deep breaths, feeling your feet. Acknowledging fatigue, physical fatigue, and being okay with it. All right, so from here, I'm going to invite you to step back with the right foot. You're going to land on the toe base. So step way back. Here's that wobble. Here's that strange instability. So when we land here, and again, I've got my heel lifted. It's okay to wobble, breathe. Find your bearings, take your time. And then slowly lower that back heel. I'm going to start to bend my front knee a little bit and then my back knee just a little bit. Keep breathing. Let's open the heart. We're going to step into second position of the tree. Again, there's going to be a wobble here. That's okay. The next move, you're going to have to push that right foot up while your left hand reaches for it. Once you got it, maybe one hand to the heart, pulling it in nice and tight. Deep breaths here. And then we release that foot, bring the knee forward, lift it up into the tummy, shoulders back. Nice and tall. Feel that supporting leg and foot. Releasing hands to the heart. Take some breaths. When you're ready, join me in stepping back with the left foot landing on that toe base. Again, both legs are straight. You're really kind of pushing up here. Find some stability. Good job. All right, slowly sinking down to that heel. Bend into the front knee a little bit. Back knee a little bit. Sweep the arms up. Bring the energy to the heart. Second position of the tree, maybe opening up. Present yet vulnerable. Really deepen the breath as the muscles feel fatigue. One hand to the heart, the other hand reaches behind as the foot lifts up. See what you can find. Back to your breath. Get a little bit taller here, a little bit more confident. And then bringing that knee forward, lifting up here, shoulders roll back. And releasing, hands to the heart. Let's take some breaths. I'm going to do this way this time, so I can see some of y'all while I'm doing it. Although now my head is cut off. You're fine. You know what I like. All right, we're going to do the left side and the right side one more time. Please join me. Step back with your right foot landing on the toe base. Legs are straight. Sink down to that heel. Front knee bends. Back knee bends. Second position of the tree, opening up, lifting, getting taller. Going to bring one hand to the heart and then reaching behind, finding that foot, getting tall, pulling it in. Make sure that shoulders rolled back. Amazing. Let's bring that leg and foot forward, lifting up and back, shoulders roll down, nice and strong from the supporting leg. And releasing. And then I'm going to do it this way. Left side, stepping way back with that left. There's that wobble. I'm up on the toe base. Really take a moment to lift up here and then sinking down. Front knee bends. Back knee bends a little bit, keeping that heel on the floor. Nice stretch here. Second position tree. Bring a hand to the heart. Other hand grabs a foot. Keep breathing to find your balance. And then bring that knee forward. And releasing, hands to the heart. Amazing. Let's drop down to our backs, please. Like this. Take some deep breaths. Tighten up through your core. We're going to bring the legs up into the air. Flex your feet. Left, right is going to cross. Left, right. Left leg is going to cross over the right. Bent at the knees. Grab a hold. Pull step in. Then untangling. Stretch those legs back up. All right. This time, right over left, maybe. Whichever way you didn't do before. And then pulling in again. Really deepen the breath. Start to soften through the body as you're pulling into this intensity. Again, think about that, right? The symbolism of that. You're pulling in, intentionally making things feel tight and somewhat uncomfortable. Yet you can calmly breathe, being present and letting all the good things happen. And let's release. Feet come down to the floor. My legs are hip width apart, shoulders rolled back. I'm going to hold the outer edges of my mat here, taking a breath in, and then I'm going to exhale, pushing up through the hips. Here comes Ted. Hi, Teddy. Hi, buddy. So lifting up the hips as high as you can. I'm trying to do this while also giving Teddy some love. The best kind of multitasking. And then very slowly bringing the back and the butt down to the mat. And let everything relax. Good stretch. Good stretch. Okay, let's try that again. Let's take a deep breath in. And when you're ready, exhaling up. If you want, you could lift up onto the toe base, really getting a nice stretch here. Keep the core tight. Keep the hips tucked under. Good stretch. You're up on the toe base, drop to the heels, slowly lowering down. Good. And one more time here, we are going to push up through the legs and the hips. I'm going to roll one shoulder under, then the other, clasping the hands underneath the butt, and then pushing up while my arms press down. 3 or 4 deep breaths here. And then slowly releasing, lowering. You can lower right onto those rolled under shoulders if you like. Nice stretch there. And then release everything. All right. Again, trying to work around dog kisses. I'm going to bring my knees into my tummy. Arms are going to come out to the sides. Slowly lowering the legs down to one side. Breathe deeply through the spinal twist. Then slowly moving to the opposite side. Come on back to center. Left leg pulls in, right leg stretches out. Switching sides. And then moving into whatever position works for you for your Shavasana. We're going to be running a couple of moments late. I hope that's okay. If it's not working for you, you can peace out at any time. But just take some time to sink into your physical self, breathing deeply, and noticing how you feel after the practice. And see if you can just let stuff go a little bit further. Take a few more deep breaths. And as you start to kind of move the head from side to side and move your fingers and toes and maybe taking a huge full body stretch, as you're doing that, acknowledge yourself and recognize yourself that you came to this practice, especially if you're doing the live version. It's tough with the time change. It's tough with everything that's going on. But you did it. Pull your knees into your tummy. Give yourself a hug because warriors need hugs. And then move up to a seated posture. And take a moment, and normally we're closing the eyes and bringing the hands to the heart, but take a moment and look at your cameras. Look at this community and understand that you are not the only one feeling unsettled right now. You're not the only one who's feeling like there should be more that we can do. You're not the only one feeling, how is this even happening right now? And also understand that there are people everywhere who are doing small intentional practices to remain strong, to remain focused on doing good and right things, especially on behalf of others who may not be able or who are being prevented from doing so. And again, understand nobody's alone. That's what fear does to us. It pushes us into that sense of isolation. Push back. Now I'll bring the hands to the heart, really pulling that beautiful sense of compassion in for ourselves. I hope this practice has provided a bit of strength physically and emotionally and for your soul to maybe do a few more things. And we'll just keep going because that's what we do. Forward is a speed. So we'll do that together. Thank you so much. I wish everybody an amazing week, maybe with fewer surprises, but just a week of strength and meaning and joy and hope. Namaste.